Hi there. We are on day 164 of our Through the New Testament in 1 Year. And today we are finishing the book of John, which will finish off all four of the Gospels, right? It's taken us almost 6 months to get through the Gospels. This is a good one, okay? This is the last chapter, so let's finish up John. After this, Jesus revealed himself again to the disciples by the Sea of Tiberias, and he revealed himself in this way. Simon Peter, Thomas, called the twin, Nathanael, and Cana in Galilee, the sons of Zebedee, the two brothers of his disciples, two other of his disciples were together. Simon Peter said to them, I'm going fishing, and said to him, We will go with you. They went out and got into the boat, but that night they caught nothing. Just as day was breaking, Jesus stood on the shore, yet the disciples did not know that it was Jesus. Jesus said to them, Children, do you have any fish? They answered him, No. He said to them, Cast a net on the right side of the boat, and you will find some. So they cast it, and now they were not able to haul it in because of the quantity of fish. That disciple whom Jesus loved, therefore, that's John, right? Therefore said to Peter, It is the Lord. When Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he put on his outer garment, for he was stripped for work, and threw himself into the sea. The other disciples came in the boat, dragging the net full of fish, for they were not far from the land, about 100 yards off. When they got out on land, they saw a charcoal fire in place, with fish laid out on it, and bread. Jesus said to them, Bring some of the fish that you have just caught. So Simon Peter went aboard and hauled the net ashore, full of large fish, 153 of them. And although there were so many, the net was not torn. Jesus said to them, Come and have breakfast. Now none of the disciples dared ask him, Who are you? They knew it was the Lord. Jesus came and took the bread and gave it to them, and so with the fish. This was now the third time that Jesus was revealed to the disciples after he was raised from the dead. Jesus and Peter. I like this part. When they had finished breakfast, Jesus said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these? He said to him, Yes, Lord, you know that I love you. He said to him, Feed my lambs. He said to him a second time, Simon, son of John, do you love me? He said to him, Yes, Lord, you know that I love you. He said to him, Tend my sheep. He said to him a third time, Simon, son of John, do you love me? Peter was grieved because he said it a third time. Do you love me? And he said to him, Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you. Jesus said to him, Feed my sheep. Truly, truly, I say to you, when you were young, you used to dress yourself and walk wherever you wanted. But when you are old, you will stretch out your hands, and another will dress you and carry you where you do not want to go. He said to show by what kind of death he was to glorify God. For saying this, he said to him, Follow me. What we all do, follow, right? Jesus and the beloved apostle. Peter turned and saw the disciple whom Jesus loved following them, the one who also had leaned back against him during the supper and had said, Lord, who is going to betray you? When Peter saw him, he said to Jesus, Lord, what about this man? Jesus said, If it is my will that he remain until I come, what is that to you? You follow me. So the saying spread among the other brothers that this disciple was not to die. Yet Jesus did not say to him that he was not to die. But if it is my will that he remain until I come, what is that to you? You think John might still be alive after 2,000 years? Maybe. This is a disciple who is bearing witness about these things, right? John, right? And who has written these things, and we know that his testimony is true. Now, there are also many other things that Jesus did. Were every one of them to be written, I suppose that the world itself could not contain the books that would be written. There you go. See, we touched on that yesterday, right? Of that. Now, there are also many other things that Jesus did. Were every one of them to be written, I suppose that the world itself could not contain the books that would be written. Jesus did a lot. He healed many thousands and thousands of people, right? And they only touched on a very small percentage of them, of all the stuff he did, right? All the times he played with children and healed people and fed people. Amazing. So there are the four Gospels. That is the book of John, right? I'm kind of saddened because I like reading about Jesus and what he said in his trips and right in his ministry. I'll mark that as complete. Mhm. You notice it doesn't say anything about the transfiguration in John, but we know that Jesus went up. Okay. And tomorrow we will start the book of Acts. Now, the book of Acts actually covers the whole history of the apostles. Okay. Many of the epistles were written during this period that Acts talks about. Okay. Last year, in 2024, I did the entire Bible chronologically in a year. And you can look at that on here. Okay. So there's a reading plans. If you do chronological, okay. And duration. And this will start up today, but it doesn't tell you. But this actually put it in order, historical order, with the things that happen. Okay. So there you go. We finished the Gospels. Okay. 6 months. Now we will do Acts. And that'll take some time to get through Acts. Okay. And then the epistles, and then Revelation will be a heavy study. But if you've lasted through 6 months, congratulations. Okay. All four Gospels. Okay. I've read these over and over again. I never get tired of reading about Jesus' ministry and the stuff he said. But that's it for this study, right? Catch up on any you may have missed. Tomorrow we will start the book of Acts, okay, with the apostles on their journey. So there you have it. Give us a like if you think about it. And tomorrow we'll continue. See you then.